In DC, for DC. DC Radio, 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov.
Right about now. Hey, on you. Okay. Right about now. Right about now. Right about now. Jump. Right about now. DC's in the building. Right about now. Go ahead, sing it, Ron.
Say we chopping it up with Chooky. Chopping it up with Chooky.
Y'all getting an exclusive right here.
Right about now.
Chopping it up with Chooky.
Right about
Last
now.
time.
Chopping it up with Chooky.
What's going on, everybody? Yes, you are here live on Chopping It Up with Chook. So listen, today is an amazing day. First and foremost, y'all asking, what is Chopping It Up with Chook? Chopping It Up with Chook is a platform where I invite in my friends and my family, artists and entertainers from all over the world, local, national, and international. And we have a one-on-one sit-down conversation about what's going on in their careers and in the music industry and everything. So first and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to my DC radio family, Mr. Max Myrick and Jazzy Girl, and absolutely Shane, the producer of the show. We could not do it without him. He makes all things work. And today I got a super special shout out to Mrs. Malika Jackson Caldwell, because today is her birthday.
Yeah.
Y'all hear how I try to make the applause with my breath over the airways? But happy birthday to you, sweetie pie, and the best is yet to come. Y'all, this is an amazing segment because this is the first time where I'm doing a double segment within the hour, so we have a lot to cover. But I'm so excited because, first of all, this is a dangerous show. This particular episode, first and foremost, you all, I have Mr. Higgs. If you don't know about him, you will soon know. And I also have Chris Biscuit Bynum, 1/3 of YXPLAINIT. So this is going to be an amazing segment. So first and foremost, I want to tell you all a little bit about this element that we call the game. And we say that the game is a competition based on specific rules. So this show really is to help to sharpen our rules of engagement. So artists and entertainers, if you're listening to this show, if you're looking at the show live on my streaming, that's all we aim to do is bring in artists from all over to share their experiences. And if there is a way that we can avert some of the ditches or the pitfalls in our entertainment journey by other people's experiences, then why not do it here? And that's what we love to do. We love to, what they say, knowledge is power. Mm-hmm. Knowledge is absolutely power. Sometimes we just don't know what it is that, I didn't know how to get around that. And we're going to uncover a lot of that stuff today. So first and foremost, Mr. Higgs. I'll tell you, I love this brother. I will tell y'all, I don't know if I can keep it to myself. I'm going to tell y'all now. Von, Mr. Higgs, Higginbotham, that's my blood brother. And before we get into any music, and I can tell you here live, and I want everybody here, I love you. I'm so very, very proud of you and our little sister. You all have stepped up to the plate not long ago. We had a challenging experience. Actually, it's about to be a year.
Yeah.
It's about to be a year. Our mom had a stroke, and it was that moment in time when all of us had to step up to the plate, not only be adults, but also be the siblings that we know we could be, but that haven't never had that opportunity. And sometimes, it's not, I wouldn't even call it tragedy, but I would say challenging times pushes to you, it brings to the forefront like, okay, what we going to do? Yeah. And I want to tell y'all openly, I'm very, very, very proud of y'all, and I love y'all very, very much.
And likewise, man.
Also, in times of challenge is where amazing music is birthed. Mm-hmm. So that's something different. So, Mr. Higgs, first of all, welcome to, DC Radio and Choppin It Up with you.
Yes, indeed, man.
This is a different platform. So tell us a little bit about yourself and all that good stuff.
First of all, I'm honored to be here, man. I'm proud of what you're doing here. Like you said, man, this is blood for me, and just getting a chance to anytime I can be with these two cats, Biscuit and Chooky, man. It's always an amazing experience, man. I'm always learning, which is important. You know what I mean? Just picking up a lot of wisdom and knowledge in this game from you guys. So I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man.
So I can tell you this. So those of you all who don't know, when I said that there's been some interesting and nostalgic moments in my life. I remember one time, this was years ago, I was out on the road with Cisco. So we talking about 99, 2000, 2001.
The 99, 2000.
How about that? But there was one time I came home from off of the road and we were having a family gathering at the house.
I remember.
And everyone was in there, everybody eating, talking, chopping it up. I was like, so I was like, wait a minute. I said, where's Vaughn? Where's Mr. Higgs at? And I walked back down the hall to your room, and you were in there practicing and playing the keyboard in the dark. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, making sure I got this fingering down pat,
The Ginsu master.
Listen.
I need to get back to it, man.
But and in that moment, you didn't even know that I had peeked in the door, but I looked in the door, I saw you practicing, and I closed the door. And when I turned around to myself, I was like, wow. I said, he got it. Because the crazy thing about being an entertainer or musician, any kind of artist, is you got to be able to identify your passion. Mm-hmm. What is that one thing that you would do, if you wasn't getting paid? Mm-hmm. What's the one thing you do or want to do before you go to sleep? And that's the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that, I was like, man, he got it. Yeah. So, that was one of those moments. I was like, whew, the best is yet to come. So I got a question. So what's your inspiration, behind what you do?
I would have to say, first of all, just the love of music. Mm-hmm. I've always been affected, our upbringing and, kind of the experiences and musical cats that are in our family, right, from grandma and grandpa on down, just inspired me to kind of go forth and following this music thing, man. And it's an awesome expression for me of sometimes stuff that I can't say verbally.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I can go in and hit record, whether it be with the keyboard or vocally, and get whatever's on my mind out, man. And then two experiences, man.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a lot of artists have this experience, but or have that to say, but experience what you're going through in life or circumstances, situations. They breathe the music that comes out of you, and that's what I believe. So I just try to become an open vessel for whatever I may be feeling at the moment, or may be around, or stuff like that. So yeah, man.
And that's amazing because, we always talk about, we say music is a universal language. Mm-hmm. We'll get into that a little bit later. I know, Biscuit traveling all over the world and traveling to places that we don't speak the same verbal language, but when you get behind your instrument, that's a language that everybody can, be able to interpret.
Yeah.
I'm so amazed because I want to tap into in a minute to your creative process. Mm-hmm. Because what you all don't know, so you might have heard YXPLAINIT. We have 2 albums out. Like I said, we'll get into that in a minute. And then also, Mr. Higgs has a couple of albums out himself, and we're going to get into that because you got, what is it? So what's going on the 24th?
So the 24th, man, I'm excited. I get a chance to, I just released a second project about a year ago. Mm-hmm. And then, with that project, I'm just doing a couple of shows, setting up some showcases and stuff like that where I can showcase that record.
Gotcha.
The 24th is one of the shows that'll be at Social 228 in Waldorf, Maryland. If you Google Social and then the number 228, it's a dope lounge. But from 8 to 10 on the 24th, I'll be doing a free live performance where you guys can come and check out kind of some of the stuff that I'll do some old stuff from the first record, and then I'll do some stuff from this new record.
So you already know, Mr. Higgs. If they don't know, I'm about to play some stuff.
Hey,
you already know? So first and foremost, we'll talk about like your creative process, because I've seen you be very, very, very creative. Actually, on one of my albums called Subject to Change, Mr. Higgs, do you remember, had that iPad? Mm-hmm. He had an iPad.
Yep, I remember.
And it was a program on, I think it was called Music Studio.
That's right.
So hint, Apple and iPad, if y'all want to go ahead and sponsor us some iPads.
There you go.
We definitely open because we use them. But you had this song, you came to the studio. He was like, Chook, you like, listen to this. And it was so hot and funky. I was like, is this on an iPad? And lo and behold, we figured out a way, because there was no way to like transfer them to.
Right.
I mean, Biscuit, I think you was there when we were trying to get it out.
Yeah.
Because Biscuit played drums on that song.
Yeah.
So it's a song on my album, Subject to Change. It's called Ducci's Dirty Funk. And he was like, well, Ducci, I thought his name was Mr. Higgs. So I'm going to tell you real quick how he got that nickname. Mm-hmm. So our grandpa, who was an amazing blues guitarist and later on became a pastor, in his later years, he would call me, my nickname is Chooky, he would call me Shoopy. And then he would call Vaughn, Mr. Higgs' real name is Vaughn. He would call him Bonds.
Yeah.
Bonds, where you at?
Bonds?
What you doing, Bonds? Man. So, you know how we flip things. What's that game where everybody's in a circle and you say something to the person beside you and they go around the circle? By the time it comes back around, it's totally different. Telephone. Yep. Oh, so it went from Bonds to, I was like, Bonaducci. Mm-hmm. And then later on, it got shortened to Ducci. And the next thing you know, that's one of his nicknames out here. So on the Subject to Change album, though, it's this song called Ducci's Dirty Funk. And it was done initially on the iPad, and then we, put our little seasoning and soulful seasonings to the stuff and a little hot sauce, and it's on the album. And I want to play that right now because your method of creativity on there was absolutely amazing. So you're listening here on Choppin It Up with Chook. This is Ducci's Dirty Funk.
Yeah.
That song there, like, if you're listening to it on audibly, you can feel that it's like it makes you like two-step a little bit. It has like a pulse to it. If you're watching this and you're streaming, you see that we were all in here bouncing, you know.
Yeah, man.
And so like, what was like the concept behind like that?
Man, I don't even know where I was then, man. Look, I remember coming out to the truck, man, and taking a ride with you.
Right.
And bringing that iPad out. I said, man, you know what? Yo, this groove feels like something that you would. I think it started with the one of the little sample pad things in there that we got going on.
Got it.
Man.
Dude, I remember, I'm like, it's till this day, you know, I was like, that's one of the ones that was like, ugh, that gets you. So I got a question. So for you as an artist, what do you think, what has been like something that's challenging as an entrepreneur, because you're independent as well. So what has been one of the challenges that you've experienced right now, the way the music game is?
I would say, I've learned nothing is hard. It may be a little difficult, but being consistent in your momentum of what you're doing as an artist.
Got it.
You know, it may get hard. You know, aside from the artistry, you have life.
Gotcha.
And so sometimes life, you know, as we all know, can, you know, deal some things, man. And but you have to learn. I think one of the key things is being consistent, which gives you strength in whatever you're trying to do anyway. So if you're consistent, the more that you press to be consistent in what you're doing, whether it be recording, getting into things that you know will inspire you to get back in your zone, you know what I mean? That's a part of your consistency to keep, you know, your artistry going and all that type of stuff. But I would say that, man, being consistent has been tough. But it's one of those things, you know, you have to do.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So.
Gotcha. And that's important, because the thing about it is, like, sometimes, like I said before, identifying your passion, but when it's something that is not sometimes paying the bills.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like still getting, where am I going to get the motivation, the momentum to still, you know, look into that, and I got to do this. I got to do this. It's a must do. What I've learned also is there's a lot of time where, you know, music is a universal language, yes, but it also in a lot of platforms is a healer. You know, you know, they've done so many studies with people who have dementia, and you know, they hear a song that they heard years ago, and they remember every word, every nuance. But then as soon as that song is finished, they back to, you know. So it's just, you know, you never know where people are when they're experiencing, you know, because music has its own life form. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The mere fact that there's only 12 notes and music keeps growing. You know what I'm saying? You know, we still hear new songs off of these 12 notes, whether they're sampled, whether they're played live, you know what I'm saying? And it becomes an appreciation for it all. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful to have an opportunity to share it with you guys. And you all know, not only are me and Vaughn blood brothers, so I've known Vaughn since birth, but then even Biscuit with, you know, when we... with YXPLAINIT, we've known each other over 20 years. So people see a different chemistry on stage. They was like, you know, it seems like it's second nature to you all. Well, we had literally have to live this. You know what I'm saying? So how do you get through it when times are tight? You know what I'm saying? Do you ever just go and sit down and play, or, you know, how does that feel to you?
Yeah, man. A lot of the times, like I said, music, you nailed it on the head. Music is healing, and music is, it's healing in so many different manifestations, physically, mentally, solically, you know what I mean? So, music has so many ways and arms and branches where that it can affect the world, our environment, the humanity, the people. You know, there are a lot of different types of, even with the different genres, man. They speak to. You have your gospel that speaks to your soul, but even if you take away the words and just the music aspect, the power of music to me, man, I could sit here and talk for hours on it. Got it. You know, it's just so deep to me, man. But
So I got a question. So you just hit a nail on the head. You said how it can heal the world. So that's amazing because I will have a question. What about your song on your first album, The Chronicles of Mr. Higgs? You got a song on there called Change the World.
Oh, yeah.
And that song, it when you hear it, it automatically puts you in a place like, you know what? Changing the world, even if I start with myself, is not that far of a. It's a tangible goal.
Yeah, it's still a possibility.
Yeah. I feel like it's closer than you know what I'm saying. Sometimes society or our surroundings kind of paint the picture to be.
Yep.
But if we can start changing the world with one person at a time, which is ourselves, So what got you to that mindset?
I believe with that particular song, the time I think President Obama had just gotten in office.
Got it.
And you can kind of, the environment and the feeling in the air and all of that was a feeling of change and
got it.
New opportunity for us as a people and as the country. And so I started to recognize, I said, you know what, there's some hope going on, man. Just when we think, things are going left field, there's always a ray of hope that comes in.
Got it.
And so that song was just inspired by, what was going on at that time and which is still relevant now. I really believe that we as a people can change the world if we just believe and can, first of all, understand the power of love.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
So with that being said, I want to give you all an opportunity to take a listen to this song on Mr. Higgs' first album entitled The Chronicles of Mr. Higgs. It's a song entitled Change the World, and you're listening to it right here live on DC Radio, Choppin It Up with Chook.
A time of revolution, a time when there's got to be a change. People in power have misused it, and now there has to be a change, and a better world has to be built, and the only way it's going to be built is with extreme methods. And I, for one, will join in with anyone, don't care what color you are, as long as you want to change this miserable condition that exists on this earth.
If it just we are all together we'll succeed. I will take a stand. Let us pour the water. Keep your head high. We're living in a time where problems seem to be all around us, and blood and tears, they don't have the same meaning anymore. No. People struggle just to provide for their families, barely even having good food to eat. So hold on, my brother, and hold on, my sister. Fight till the end, and know we'll be free. We can, We can change the world if you just believe. We are all alive, together we'll succeed. Let's take a stand. Let us pour the water. Let's pour the more. Let's take the time to think about the people who never had a pair of shoes on their feet. What about the children?
Wow, we can change the world. Like, I'm just sitting here listening to it, and it just takes me to a whole different place. You said the hook is we can change the world, what, if we just believe?
If we just believe, we are all we have.
We're all we have.
Together we'll succeed. With love, we'll take a stand. Let us war no more. Keep your heads up high, because within you lies the key.
So you'll understand. So I'm so thankful for this show because there's music out here that sometimes we will never have an opportunity to listen to unless it is for platforms like this. I ask you all, definitely search out Mr. Higgs. He has this new album that is called It's About to Go Down. And so what are you doing on the 24th? Can you tell the people?
Yeah, man. The 24th, you guys come out. I'm doing a live performance from 8 to 10 p.m. at Social 228 in Waldorf, Maryland.
Got it.
Yeah.
Social 228 in Waldorf, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if you all have never, so a lot of people, you all have seen Mr. Higgs and you see him on the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if you have been fortunate enough, you might see him at a gig and he'll be on drums. That's what's really crazy. But even if you have an opportunity to follow him and follow his brand, he is an amazing singer. He has, I don't even have it on file today, but we did a Christmas album a little while ago, and he did a version of, what was it, the Christmas song?
Christmas song, yeah.
In 7.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for you all musicians out there and all that good stuff, if y'all listen to the concept of him doing the Christmas song in 7 and singing, and I mean, brother, you are really, really killing it. So for this new album, though, It's About to Go Down, there's a song on here before we switch to our YXPLAINIT segment that I was listening to last night, and I was like, this brought me all the way to a Sly and Family Stones, all the way back, a George Clinton Parliament. But it's a song you got on there called Superman.
Oh, man.
What's your secret behind the Superman song?
Man. Look, man, we all in our lives at some point have maybe in relationships or just, like I said, it could be a love relationship, a regular friendship, a situation where sometimes it may come off like you may come off like you're Superman,
right,
or you like doing all these feats,
right?
You know what I mean? But it's not our intent. It's not your intent to come off with superpowers,
right?
But you know what I mean? This song was inspired by that, man. Even though it may seem like we are superheroes at the time,
right?
We're not trying to be. We're just being us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And that's amazing you say that, because another thing that we stay conscious of is like men's mental health.
Oh yeah.
And with that, there are ways in whatever form and format in order to be the best you that you can possibly be. Mm-hmm. Don't ever mistake arrogance for confidence or security.
That's right.
For myself, I can't speak for nobody else. I don't want to be no taller. I want to lose a little weight, but you know what I'm saying? But I'm comfortable being me. Mm-hmm. And so, sometimes I ain't trying to be no Superman, but if that's how you look at it, then welcome to the platform. So listen, you're listening to Superman off of Mr. Higgs' album, It's About to Go Down. And you're hearing it live on DC Radio, Choppin' It Up with Chook.
Ooh, yeah. What if I could fly without an airplane? And what if I could walk across the waters? And what if I could move a mountain? And what if these weren't even my intentions? Listen, I'm not trying to be a Superman, no. Oh no. You see, I just wanna be me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Oh. See, I've been a lot of places. And yes, I've seen a lot of different things. One thing that I've come to know for sure, yeah, that there's a struggle and a yearning for peace everywhere. But guess what? I'm not trying to be a Superman. Oh no, yeah. But I'm just trying to be yeah. I'm gonna sing it again, listen. See, I'm not trying to be a Superman, no.
Y'all listening to it here. If you've never heard it before, that is Superman off of Mr. Higgs' new album.
Yes,
It's
indeed.
about to go down. It's so many songs on the album, so make sure that you're finding your way. So listen, so at this portion right here, like I said, this is the first time doing a dual segment because having Mr. Higgs here, that's one entity, that's 1/3 of this trio group that I've heard of that has come out of the DMV.
Said that he's heard of. He's not a part of the group, yo.
Hey, yo.
That I heard of.
Listen, y'all, with no further ado, I want to introduce to some and present to others the trio entitled YXPLAINIT.
Yes.
Consisting of myself, Antone Chooky Caldwell, Mr. Higgs, and you all, if y'all don't know, you need to know, Mr. Chris Biscuit Bottom.
What up, world?
Look, this is the dangerous segment I was talking about.
telling you.
You got three of us with microphones, OMG.
You never know.
So listen, I don't even need a script or anything for this. Guys, first and foremost, y'all know I love y'all. I love y'all to life. We've spent so much time together. Where do we start?
How did it come about?
How did it come about? Well,
Long ago.
Biscuit.
So we used to do, I mean, we've been, like Chooky said, we've been together for a long time. The very first times I remember was like going, their mom and dad has a church on Georgia Avenue. So I remember Chooky calling being like, hey man, mom's just having a program. You guys want to, come up and play?
Yeah.
So we'd just go up and play, and his mother would be very random.
Right.
As pastor and that can be. And she would describe these feelings and be like, make it feel like an ocean running down.
That's
Triumphantly into the river. And we would just listen to whatever she was saying and kind of create this atmosphere or this vibe.
Absolutely.
To me, that's kind of where it started. So like always, first and foremost, you got to give honor to the Most High,
Yes, indeed.
For people who, whoever that is for you, for me,
right.
The Lord and Savior, my Jesus Christ. Come on now.
Oh, come on.
But so it started definitely from a spiritual perspective from in the church. And then just the chemistry between the three of us, I always felt like I was the third brother or like their older brother.
Absolutely.
That, the both of them, I've had time throughout the last 25 years to spend personal time with both of them separately and then together. So
you gotta understand. So like I said, like we said before, people, they be like, oh my God, when y'all play together, it seems like it's been over 25 years.
Easy.
You know what I'm saying? And that's first and foremost, being thankful that we're still here and able to do what we love to do. You know what I mean? And so let's talk a little bit, guys, to people who don't know about like our creative process when we come up with stuff.
Anything. Like even for this segment, we started out with just us literally beating on the desk. And then it just turned into a thing. So we take I think it's creativity. Like when we're together, the energy betwixt the three of us, like that creative energy is so, just so crazy that we can kind of pull it out the sky. So a lot of the songs will be just like, yo, put us in the room. I'm all big on putting creatives in spaces and just kind of stepping back. Almost like mixing these different, elements and just seeing what happens. And, it's very organic, but it's just what it is. Some people you have that connection with, some people you don't.
And you all, and like I said, this segment is totally unscripted because it's hard to script out.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? This is more than family. This is like when we did so we have 2 albums out. As YXPLAINIT, we have Day One. And guys, I'm going to play a song from Day One. I think y'all know what I'm going to play.
I'm sure.
It's as in terms of being creative, we Well, so first and foremost, some years ago, and shout out to House Studios
I'm about to
DC.
say, you gotta tell them how you became about it.
Yeah, House Studios DC. I think it was after I released. Was it basically Chook?
I think so.
And I had an opportunity to perform at the Capitol Jazz Fest, and I was one of the Catch a Rising Star. It was myself and Lynn Fitmont.
Shout out to Cliff.
Yep. Shout out to Cliff and the whole
Capitol Jazz crew.
Absolutely, everybody there.
Everybody.
Yes,
good people.
Yeah, and what it was I was still on a high. I was like, yo, we're gonna do this weekend, so forth and so on. So what it was that was on a Sunday. So what we did, I was like, guys, let's stay right here in the mindset that we are. So we rented out House Studios.
Took out a little bit of money.
Yep, a little bit of income.
10 hours. Was it 10 hours?
10 hours a day. It was 30 hours.
30 hours.
30 hours. We did 3 days back to back.
Yeah.
And the concept of the album was called 3 albums in 3 days.
Yeah.
So what you all hear on when you all listen to the YXPLAINIT Day 1 album was stuff that that we literally, and what we did was we stayed in the same facility together. We woke up together. We went to go eat together, and literally was moving and operating all together. So when once we got to the studio, whatever came to our mind is what came about. So on day 1, there's a song on there. We just, like I said, push the meter to be creative. And what we're going to do, normally we do a little impromptu segment at the end, but when we come back from this song, we're going to, share with them what it feels like for us to just come up with something on the spot and, and the atmosphere that it sets. But it was this one song that we said we wanted to be very, very creative. And we would say, well, what music would they think, they can't do that? Or what would be the last music you think?
That was on day 1?
Yeah, that was on day 1.
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was on day 2.
No, we had a lot of music, brothers.
I'm telling you.
So in those 3 days, we did 44 songs in 3 days.
Wow.
Going back to that, when we were at House Studios, in 3 days.
And they had never done that before.
We
were the first band.
We were the first live.
Yep.
They had done production, but we were the first live element to be able to go. So we went up in there a day early and set the whole room up. Y'all remember that?
Yeah. Shout out Jake and you do.
Yes, indeed.
The family. That's right.
Yes, indeed.
But we're big on that, though. I mean, being in DC, we're big on connecting the community, man. It might not be, we grew up in the church circle, but we've run in all these different circles from jazz to hip hop to soul to poetry. So we kind of try to cross genres and just good people are good people to me. So it don't matter.
And it's all about relationship because you don't know you don't know where these people will be at further down. I've never thought that I would be hosting the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm very, very thankful, honored and with that, I want to make sure that I'm using this platform to make sure that we shout out those who we've been in cahoots with over the years. So it's this one song on day 1, though, that people was like, the last music I think that they would ever play is a country song. So we came up with a song called A Trip Through the Country. And you're listening to it here on DC Radio, Chopping It Up with Chook.
Yeah, man.
Country. That's on YXPLAINIT, our album entitled Day One.
It's on all media.
All media, yes.
All platforms.
Yeah,
all platforms.
Get it.
This is a really cool moment because I wanted to take a minute. I was like, we were talking about how we're creative and just like, you know, what's really fun is, and this is like one of the few times where like we just chopped it up and we were literally behind our instruments. Mm-hmm. I think that's what is really a nostalgic part of the show. Mm-hmm. So guys, so what we want to play? We just gonna come up with something. So we believe that like what do we call BBM, beat, bass, and a melody. Mm-hmm. So each one of us have our own, you know, we have our own initial, for lack of a better term. But sometimes it starts with maybe Biscuit comes up with a beat, or Vaughn comes up with a melody, or I come up with the bass line. And we just never know. Each moment is different. Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty of it. No moment in time can be replaced. So you try your hardest to capture those moments as they come. And I'm so glad to be doing it here on Choppin' It Up with Chook. Vaughn, what you got, Mr. Higgs?
Let me see. What you feeling now?
Anything. Wherever we go.
And it starts.
YXPLAINIT. With my brothers, having so much fun, like no other. So why explain it? Why explain it? Just let the music flow. OMG. You had it live impromptu here on Choppin' It Up with Chook. So that's what happens when the three of us get together. Yeah, man. We didn't record it, but I think Shane got it. Thank you, brother Shane. So guys, so I got a question. Mm-hmm. So we're born and raised in the DMV area. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the spots, what are some of the venues that we performed at, or some of the venues that you like that brings such a very, very warm and embracing feeling to what it is that we do?
I want to throw this out there. Mm-hmm. Y'all remember State of the Union.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we didn't get to play that.
I mean, I know that's throwback.
Oh, actually, we did. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Poem C.
You took the words
It was actually the last show that they had there, wasn't it?
Really?
Yeah, we did the closing for.
That's crazy.
So shout out to the Poem C's, DP,
Patrick, Stylist.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Crazy.
that was an invite. Good gracious, it was other. Wow.
Yeah. So that's why Bohemian Caverns.
Yeah.
That's really emerging. Some of the new spots.
Indulge was cool.
Indulge was.
You know what I'm saying? At least because we were, like kind of in the window.
Yeah.
But they got some wonderful spots now.
Yeah. Ben 1301.
Ben
1301. Marvin's. Soto. Omar Riley's over running the Soto spot in terms of booking.
Got you.
So, the old jazz spot, JoJo's, that's popping.
I heard that's popping.
Yeah. I can't really think what else. 18th Street Lounge.
18th Street Lounge.
Drinks, that's pretty popping.
Absolutely. And we ain't trying to leave nobody out. We're just talking about different venues that we've played at that has been very, very inviting. Shout out to Chris over at Blues Alley.
Blues Alley. Chris the homie, yeah.
Absolutely. So, these are all spots. And of course, we've done, the Bethesda Blues and Jazz.
Yeah, and new owner, black owner.
Yes. The Fillmore and stuff like that.
930 Club.
Yeah, we've done Howard Theater.
Oh, yeah.
Black Cat.
Oh, I forgot about the cat, man.
Yeah. So, we always invite you all and be on the lookout, first and foremost, for on social media for definitely myself, Chooky Caldwell. Also be looking for Mr. Higgs, also Biscuit Bynum.
Yeah.
We all collectively, we have the name YXPLAINIT, but we also do private or separate, I should say, separate events and separate branding. Shout out to Biscuit and shout out to Miss Precious Jo Bear, who just celebrated her birthday last week, a week ago today. First Lady of Sound of the City.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout. They do something, what is it, first Saturday?
First Saturdays we've partnered with Joe Claire to do his comedy show as the house band.
Right.
So that's always fun. So this first Saturday in December, can I say that?
Yeah.
December?
Yeah. Just search every first Saturday.
Every first Saturday you'll see it there. Yeah.
So get your tickets. If you can't get your tickets for this one, then make sure you're there. And the shows be off the chain.
Yeah.
So, like I said, going back a little bit, we did a shout out to one of the clubs, Marvin's, on U Street, and that was actually one of the first spots where I had the opportunity to host Chooky's Love Lounge, and that's where YXPLAINIT, we would provide live music, and I had different artists come in, but then we would separate the show, and I would ask the crowd questions about love, loving yourself, loving each other, and it was really, really cool because that was the first place where, a group of females will come in, girls' night out, or a group of guys will come in, and it was really cool getting everybody's weigh in on different topics. So, it just switched from Marvin's to a different platform now, but trust and believe, we are continuing to evolve. But shout out to Vic there, Victor and Joe Herrera. I was mentioning Joe because on day 2, on YXPLAINIT's album, day 2, we have a song that I want to play you a short clip of. And Joe and Matt.
H2O.
Yes, indeed.
They're amazing.
Horns to Order.
Yeah, man.
So a little piece of this song is a song called Find Me If You Can. Find Me If You Can. And if you can find the one on it.
That's why it's called
That's why it's there.
We were like, where's the...
Yes, indeed.
Okay, we'll just find it. It'll be there.
And you're listening to it here live on DC Radio, Chopping It Up with Chook. that is on YXPLAINIT's album Day 2. And that's on all digital media. You can follow us. How about that, guys?
Oh, yeah.
First and foremost, can we tell them where we can be found and all of that good stuff?
Yeah. Well, you can find me, Mr. Higgs. I'm at on IG, Godsound_Productions. And then on Facebook, Von Higgs. And you'll find me there.
Mr. Biscuit Bynum, how can we find you on social media?
Biscuit Bynum everywhere. Biscuit Bynum on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Chris Bynum or Biscuit Bynum. Sound of the City everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then you also can find YXPLAINIT. We are all on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And then YXPLAINIT is spelled YXPLAINIT. 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 So listen, guys, before we do this last little bit here, what would you all say to any aspiring artists coming up that want to be successful in this business, in this game?
Don't stop.
Don't stop.
Yes.
Consistency is the key.
That's right.
And then, content is king. Mm-hmm. So you need a lot of content. Don't stop. Constantly, promote yourself. Put yourself out there. A lot of music, a lot of whatever it is you want to do. If it's fashion. And then tell your story via your social. You know what I'm saying? Be able to tune into your channel and see what's happening. You go to my Instagram page and you see drums.
Absolutely.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or you go to Vaughn's and you see him promoting, or Chooky the same way. You promoting, so you live,
Or you might see my kids taking over my camera, but that's another thing.
And the thing about it is real talk, you all. The real thing about it is to all our artists out there, all aspiring entrepreneurs and artists, you can't make anybody else believe in it more than you believe in it yourself.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So you be your biggest fan and be very, very critical of yourself and what you do. Yep. If it sounds like anybody else or anything of that nature, you think you need to push the meter and push it up a notch, then do so before you let it out and let somebody else tell you that you have to do it. All right? So listen, you have been listening to what it sounds like. Like I said, we got 3 mics, so this is dangerous. The show is almost over. You've been listening to what it sounds like to Chop It Up with Chook. I will always and continue and aim to provide artists and entrepreneurs who can come in here and share their journey in hopes that it will help someone else along the way. I am Antone Chooky Caldwell, and you have been listening to Chop It Up with Chook here on DC Radio. So before we leave out, I wouldn't dare have these guys in here and we not play one more live tune for us to leave out on. Can we do that? Can we do that,
You got
guys?
time for that?
Yeah, we're good.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
One, two, what you feeling? One,
Chicken.
one. You got bomb two? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and...
DC for DC. DC Radio, 96.3 HD4 and DCRadio.gov.